Kita akan segera mulai sebetulnya untuk sesi pertama. Sesi pertama sendiri topiknya walaupun eh, mungkin agak sedikit kompleks dan berat ya. Tapi judulnya adalah Customer First DNA. Gampangnya itu adalah bagaimana kita sebetulnya menyebutkan tentang customer centric organization dan membangun itu ya kultur customer first di dalam organisasi. Jadi customer first DNA in an AI-powered CX landscape is your strategy inclusive gitu. Jadi di sini kita akan sedikit juga banyak membahas tentang inclusivity dalam hal kita membuat CX strategy. Bersama saya mungkin segera kita bisa pindah ke Zoom. Hi everyone, Rajith, Ali, and Manoj, can you open your cam? I know Regis, probably if you have problems to open your cam, it's okay for you to, sort of like switch off at any time.
Yeah,
Feel free.
that's fine. I think now I can start off and then maybe switch it off later point of time.
Okay, so you are actually in front of you. As you can see, there are people here from CX Indonesia, the community as well from CX.ID. We are now together with you to run the sessions. So good afternoon, everyone there.
Thank you.
Okay, so Ali Malik, Rajith Nair are both CXPA Asia regional leader, while Manoj Madugula is sales and tech experts. So I will let them first to introduce themselves to you. So give the chance for you to introduce yourself for all of you, Ali and Rajith and Manoj, who would like to start first. But please be brief, okay?
Sure. Can I start off, Ali, Manoj?
Sure, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm Rajith, and I have been working in different industries through my career. And what I realized was across industries, wherever you work, if you don't have the customer along with you, you never succeed in any business that you are in. So I have been in majorly in the service industry and also a little bit of the manufacturing side. And in the service industry, I guess what I really understood is customer is king because you don't have a product to sell, right? All that you have is how you make sure that you possibly give the person the best service, and to add to it all, you actually give him an experience that he will not want to switch from you. So that's a little bit of me. Moving on, maybe Manoj or Ali.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Katrina, for having us. First of all, happy Customer Experience Day, everyone in Jakarta and Indonesia. My name is Ali Malik. I'm a CCXP. I'm also an Asian Leadership Council member. I live in Lahore, Pakistan, and mainly work in customer experience transformations for different companies in Pakistan and Middle East. My early career was in sales, marketing, and customer experience in various industries like IT, textiles, banking, business research, retail strategy. And since last like 13 to 14 years, I'm a founder of a platform called Static A, which is a mystery shopping and voice of customer and PSCX strategy company, trying to serve value addition to top-notch B2C retail brands in Pakistan and Middle East. And I always say that in CX, we are always on a mission to elevate the standards and best practices in customer experience management in the region. And that is what the core and primary purpose of our association, Customer Experience Professional Association, is as well. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. This is Manoj Madugula. I've got 2 decades of experience in IT sales. Have a living experience of 10 years in Indonesia. I was in Jakarta. 2 years back, decided to come back to India and start operating on my own. Yes, definitely, customer experience has been always on the top of the mind. And what I sincerely believe is definitely it's a reflection of how internally teams talk to each other. That's what customer experience is all about. Yeah, over to you, Karthika, to kick off the session.
Okay, I think I have to, take the seats here so you can see me, because if I stand there, you couldn't see me. Okay, so to kickstart the discussion today, let me start with the narratives that CX drives growth. So I took a study from McKinsey highlighting that CX as a strategic value engine to achieve more than double revenue growth. And we know for sure that customer first DNA is one of the buzzwords these days, which we claim, in terms of the corporates, we claim that we are the customer first, but often fail to prove it. So that's the nail kind of like assessments for that. So what customer first DNA really means and why inclusive CX strategy is actually central to the DNA. So now I would like to focus our discussions in, are our CX strategies still customer first, or have they become tech driven? Because we talk about the technology, could be AI, could be anything else in the future. And how should we amplify VOC or voice of customers as our human-led approach beneath the digital noise? So this is like the core and the forefront kind of like discussions for our sessions today. So I would like to kick off with, I think it's Ali. You are the first one. So in the current AI-powered CX landscape, it is harder to be a customer first. So from the CXPA point of view, what do you think as the most common pitfalls in driving customer first DNA in the organizations? You may also explain about the corporate culture as to how organizations should embed the mindset and what holds them back from achieving the revenue growth. And yeah, I think it's over to you to discuss about the organizations and corporate culture changes.
Right. That's a great question to ask. And these days, we all are hearing a lot about the digital transformations and AI. And what many organizations are experiencing, I call it a technology drift, where we need to understand that the technology is an enabler, a support, and a tool of great customer experience. And somehow I see in my recent experiences that it increasingly becoming the starting point rather than becoming the solution to actual customer needs by identifying the delight and the pain points and the needs, wants, and expectation in their customer journeys. So I strongly feel that through customer first strategies, they begin with deeper customer understanding, their pain points, their emotional journeys, and their most importantly, the jobs to be done by the customer, their desired outcomes. So in these tech-driven first approaches, I believe the conversation should always start with what can this technology do for our customers, rather than we say what does our uh, rather than we say that maybe we need to take this technologies just because ABC X competitor is using that. So we don't need to be competition driven, but we really need to assess if this particular technology or AI initiative is really supporting our customers. If I go more with that, uh, as you talk about the cultural context, I think leadership lip service versus action is something a very important point. A lot of C-suits we see, they only talk about the lip service, about delivering great experiences, but inside and internally, we see they never have a priority to talk about the customer experiences, to talk about the insights they are getting, to create a customer experience vision, to set internal strong customer experience values, to regularly enforce the training and workshop sessions. So all of them are important to create a really genuine customer-centric culture, which can prioritize some great initiatives for their customers. At the same time, I believe I have seen many, especially in my region, if you talk about, I see many banks in Pakistan, they are running their service quality and customer experience department just as a checklist to satisfy the government regulations like the state bank compliance and all that. So rather than doing that, rather than focusing on siloed metrics and incentives, for example, marketing, they just focus on the customer acquisition. The operations, they mostly focus on efficiency. The call center, they mostly focus on the average handle times. So rather than focusing on siloed metrics, a lot of organization needs to have a holistic approach of metrics to evaluate and measure the end-to-end customer journey so that it delivers genuine value for the customers. I see one of the pain point also is the lack of cross departmental collaborations. If a CX department, rather than focusing on only voice of customer or only, let's say, training and workshops, if they focus on connecting with all of the departments, understanding their goals, understanding and letting them understanding how they can deliver and maximize value to the customers, and having a clear alignment across the board, across the journey. I think these are some of the cultural nuances that can add some great value for the customers. Dr. Katrina.
Okay, thanks, Ali. I think I would like to underline your comments about the importance of having the leaders there to make sure that the corporate culture improves in terms of like how we can implement that. But I think that, I mean, I have another, sort of like another questions about whether technology or tech components here that makes it harder for us to step in and build the customer first DNA. But I will let Rajith to answer these questions first, because this involve about how organizations manage to implement customer first DNA and how we make sure that business changes become visible as CX drives growth. So Rajith, over to you. Could you elaborate more on how CX drives growth and any key learnings in the past, any failures or any best practices that you could share so we can link all together with what Ali has just explained?
Thank you, Dr. Katrina. Yeah, Ali had a valid point there when he said that leadership still matters. I was reading this article from Bruce Temkin, wherein he talks about leadership and how leadership can actually make a huge difference, irrespective of how automated you are, irrespective of your agentic AI tools or whatever. You need leadership to really stand up there and ensure that the CX as as a function across the organization is sort of inbuilt into the teams, inbuilt into the different departments. And whatever Ali was mentioning in terms of the siloed approach, that is something that has to be broken by the I wouldn't say the CEO, but somebody at the top. I mean, there has to be an effort wherein they get in and make sure that the teams start working with each other towards this common goal. The common goal should be to ensure that the customer gets not just what he wants, but gets it the way he probably doesn't even expect it. For example, I mean, I think Amazon is a perfect example. The way they work. I mean, you have companies like Zappos and all of those who actually go out of the way to make sure that the customer. I think I was reading something about Zappos that they actually came up with a shoe which was meant for a person who has only one leg. I mean, anybody with one leg would never be able to buy a shoe in the market, but they did provide that. So that is the level of personalization. And to link that up, I think one of these big drivers that we see into the AI-powered customer experience landscape is that a few things stand out. One is this hyper-personalization. I mean, personalization, which really tells AI is able to generate data about me and tell me Rajith needs a coffee at 6 p.m. on a Friday. That level of data can easily be fished out from all the data that they have. And that is when brands can really make a difference. If Rajith gets a message at, let's say, 5:50 saying he can have a coffee nearby, somewhere near his, wherever he is, that too can be located where he is. And then probably you tally it up with your discounts and other things. And Rajit has a very good value proposition there. He knows, okay, I anyway need a coffee, and I just got this message saying I get a discount if I go to this place. That's exactly what has to happen. That's exactly how AI has to work and make sure that it is enabling customer experience. Another thing apart from hyper personalization would be, I would say, a human AI, how do I call it? A hybrid model, which is something like a portion of the task is done by AI, but then you don't leave everything to the AI. Then it sort of hands off to the individual or a human being. If it's a simple thing, for example, I know companies which are currently working on, and they've already started selling their products. So they have these email platforms which are actually answered by AI bots. So if it's a simple query, it can easily be answered and directly delivered to the customer. But if it's a little, I wouldn't say complicated, a little tricky, and AI realizes that, you know what, maybe my answer may not be the best, it's routed to another team of human beings who then quickly go through it and check if the inputs from the AI really make sense. Is it something that should be sent to a client? And then the person makes the change. He puts in the human, the human, I would say the human influence into it, maybe a little bit of empathy, all of that, and then packs it off and sends it. So it's mix of both. I mean, you can't. I mean, I think in India, another thing that I've personally seen is you have a lot of these chatbots. And just coming back to something like what Ali was mentioning about the banks. I mean, a lot of banks have these chat bots wherein they will have a set of 10 questions which the chatbot will answer, but you probably want to ask something else, and it will never give you an answer. So, I mean, there is no point of having such AI. There's no point of having such uh, advanced technology when there is no human touch and when it really doesn't meet the customer's requirement. Yeah, Katina, I think you want to ask me a follow-up question?
Yeah, I just would like to highlight two things here. You mentioned about something about rewarding customers based on the hyper personalizations. I think this is also I mean, I don't want to say this sponsors, but it's sort of like what TADA and BRAZE are here today. It's actually this is part of their forte in talking about how to make sure that you can reward and do these hyper personalizations with these AI powered. But I think one of the key points that you just mentioned about the customer frustrations, I would like to underline that as the customer frustrations, as per what you said around this chatbot. But what do you think as like the strategic advantage of this AI powered or AI driven CX to CX strategy itself? Any use cases that you think we should be prioritized at the strategic level? Because I know we do talk about predictions, we do talk about personalizations, we do talk about automations, but how exactly that we can ensure that we minimize the failures in the implementations? And what is your take about the future of CX? Over to you first, Rajith, and then after that, I'll go to Manoj.
Sure, thank you. Thank you for that. I think, like you did point out, hyper personalization is definitely a trend that we will see more in the future. There will be more companies offering really personalized services because I mean, that's really the benefit of AI. I mean, if you look at a tool, a platform which really crunches all the data that you have, I mean, what is the real benefit? The benefit has to be that, everything about the customer is in front of the organization, and then the organization really adds value to it. I mean, that's uh, primary to the organization to ensure they grow and they do well. Another point, like you did mention, organizations cannot be reactive. The moment you are reactive, your customers will go to the next person. So they have to be proactive. So what are the way to be proactive? Again, a lot of solutions. It can be AI driven. It may not be AI driven, but largely AI driven in today's world, wherein the organizations can really get to understand what is that the future holds. It may not be 100% true, but at least they have an idea that this is probably what the customer wants if he is at this location. A person at this location probably wants a pizza, or a person at this location probably wants a milkshake. I mean, things like that. So I think, uh, hyper personalization, and then things like the proactive approach of organizations. I mean, all this really go to build the trust. The third point is trust. And when you sort of build trust with a customer, the customer stays with you. There may be a lot of reasons for the customer to move away, but still this person will give you another chance because he knows that you have been serving him or her very well over these last so many years, so many occasions, I would say, rather than years. And he would still want to give you another chance. The customer is not a bad guy. I mean, it's just that the customer is full of choices in today's world. And if you can manage to make a customer loyal, to your brand by ensuring that you provide him what he wants, absolutely what he wants, personalized. He realizes that there's an effort behind the whole scheme of things to ensure that the company knows things about you and is or giving you a value. So all of that put together, I think that clearly makes sure that there is technology definitely has benefits. I will come back to the example which I took. I mean, for example, you were right in saying it's a frustration that this happens, but there are other companies. What do? They ensure that they give you the bot automatically asks you, okay, do you want to speak to a customer service agent? Put in your number there. We will call you back. So you put in your number there, and then you get a call back. So that is where I would say it's more of this hybrid synergy between AI and human beings. If the bot is or the AI, the front end is not able to answer your queries, it still connects you to a human being who will ensure that you probably get what you want to know. So I think that is the future. I mean, that is the future. Till that time, we read a lot of articles. We read a lot of news saying that AI is going to take over the whole world. And in fact, yesterday there was Elon Musk who was saying AI will ensure that human beings can start growing vegetables. We'll have enough time to grow vegetables. So maybe AI will do that, but I think we're too early in the game. Maybe I don't know, maybe 5, 10 years, maybe 15 years, 20 years. That's something that we don't know. We will see a lot of technology, new technologies come up, and things don't work, and they stay for a
Yeah.
couple of years, then you move on. So AI definitely is helpful to ensure that the customer experience side of things for industries, for specific companies, for consumers can make a huge. I mean, they can make a huge dent. AI can make a huge dent and benefit all of us.
Okay. I think you mentioned a bit around the trust. I'd like to pass this on to Manoj, because I know in the sales space, as usual, customers is not seen as the profit-driven kind of like section, where sales is more towards like giving the profit, giving the bottom line numbers. So I'd like to take your view into like, how do you think sales team could consider that they do their contributions to customer experience, in particular in building trust instead of just driving conversation, the conversions. And I know that you are a fan of the making sure that trust can be built through internal communications. So what is your view about this customer first DNA? And how do you view that internal communication should run first, which as part of the, for example, combinations around sales, CX, operations, finance, how should they run together this CX strategy in the coming forward?
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Kartina. Having spent years in sales, and especially working very closely with tech teams, because I was always into IT sales. What I realized overall on a very good juncture, very simple but powerful message that I got is, trust is something that is built when you close a deal, okay, and it's built also moments after it. It's about like when you are in a situation where there could be something which have gone unplanned, okay, either it could be some kind of a delay or it's some kind of a wrong message that has gone. The customer would always see how we have reacted to it, how fast we have responded to that, and how successfully we have responded to that. That is where the reliability is, where the trust really begins. Think of a motor breakdown company who is actually serving you, and they are great in promotions, but they don't arrive on time when your car is broken down. So that's where I would say sales, as a part of either an enterprise sales or a retail sales. When I say sales, it's all about a combination of people who are communicating to the customer, because they are the people who are in front of the customer and sending out messages. So they become the first custodian of trust. Okay, so they share the emotional experience, like when we talk about different brands. So they're not selling that particular product, they're primarily communicating. They are telling how good it is, and then internally that value or the promise that is to be delivered, that has to be relayed internally, and everybody's working towards that particular shared customer language. So when we talk about the sales, tech, support, it's not about communicating through systems only. It is communicating through the context which the customer is meaning. And that's where the customer DNA is actually built, where we are reflecting on how the teams are talking to each other and building the DNA by understanding what the customer really requires. Yeah, over to you, Dr. Katina.
Okay, thank you for capturing the words around making sure that everyone is working on towards building the DNA. So I'll probably pass on to Ali, because you think about VOC these days, how everyone, I think they are currently implementing this. But sometimes we have seen the context around, as Manoj saying, it's all about the context, right? So whether or not the VOC can drive us to get into the right context. So how do we make sure that the VOC don't just listen, but actually the VOC can capture the unspoken needs and future expectations. And this will, at the end of the day, shape our CX strategy. So what is your view in terms of the the notions around the context that Manoj mentioned and the notions around the VOC?
Well, that's a great question. First of all of those organizations who are into initial phases of customer experience, like awareness and considerations, I think they should always have right customer listening channels, and that should be in multiple ways so that they can regularly listen their customers, and once they keenly listen but not hear, they can better understand the needs, wants, and expectations and the pain points of the customers, or maybe what they want, the product or the service, what kind of product and service they want to be in future. So listening is the most important key, and your question is very important, that as a lot of things are evolving in voice of customer programs and customer experience, the programs should be somehow very proactive, and they should capture the unspoken needs as well. So a few of the thoughts in my mind are like, uh, we should have track the customer behavioral signal detections, because a lot of customers do something, but when you ask them through surveys, they do not talk about them. This is what my experience in most of the cases. So few of the ideas are like reading and analyzing digital body language. For example, let's say there is a website of the company, and uh, a customer, we can track where customer hesitate, abandon, churn, or workaround in that digital framework experience. For example, like if 40% of the customer use search bars instead of navigating the website, that clearly tells us the information architecture of the website is broken without saying a word. So analyzing digital body language, effort analysis, map where customer expand unnecessary effort, multiple contracts for one assures, like switching channels, repeating informations. So these are the friction points which we need to analyze uh, through a voice of customer program. For example, let me give you a little example on that. Netflix, they don't just ask what you want to watch. They analyze where you pause, where you rewind, where you browse and abandon, and these behavioral signals predicts preferences better than any survey they ask from the customers. So another way would be like analyzing the churn prediction models, uh, analyzing customer behaviors and making prediction like if they are consistently facing some pain points, they might analyze within a due period of a time like 30, 60, 90 days, and then focusing on those pain areas. Then using AI and using proactive voice of customer platforms, this latest and advanced sentiment trajectory analysis is something very important where we can track how a particular customer sentiment over a period of time evolves and catching declining satisfaction before it creates a real crisis for the organizations. Then another thing is cohort analysis, like compare how different customer segments, maybe through age demographic, gender demographic, income demographic, regional demographic, how different demographics and different customer segments and personas evolve to predict particular life cycle customer needs. I have another example coming into my mind regarding this. For example, let's talk about Amazon. As my friend Rajat talked about their customer experience focus. So, in most of the cases, when we are shopping on Amazon, they predict what you can potentially order before you even order it based on the behavior pattern of the searches, the wish list you are having, and the similar kind of customer journeys. So in most of the cases, they predict through using cohort analysis and multiple other things. So if I may say that we need to ask the right question, which is what
We lost Ali a bit. So, hi Ali.
pre-sat questions
Yeah,
or
we lost
the
you
NPS
for a
questions.
while before.
All right, I'm sorry. I believe you can
Yeah,
hear me
yeah.
now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right. So I hope I shared my Amazon examples and the listeners heard about
Yep.
that.
Yes,
Is that correct?
yes.
Okay. Okay. So I think we need to really focus on one question, Dr. Kartina, which is about what jobs are we hiring for our products and services to deliver better outcomes to our customers rather than only asking the satisfaction questions or only asking the recommendation NPS questions. So
Okay.
by using some of these techniques, I think we can be really proactive on identifying the future potential needs of our customers. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Ali. I would like to hold on the topics around cohort analysis for a while, but I would like to check the audience because we would like to be very strict with the time. Anyone have any questions to be asked to the panelists? Anyone would like to check and ask questions? Cohort analysis, psychographic, demographic. Okay, there's one questions coming down here.
Thank you, Mbak Katina, and hi, Ali. Yeah, I'm interested when you explain about how Netflix do some kind of research by how the customer or the user use the Netflix itself, right? I mean the platform. But do you have anything to share about the like real life experience, like maybe hotel or hospital or something like that? Do we really can like analyzing that kind of stuff, like the user behavior, the consumer behavior, that sort of thing? I think
Yeah.
that's from me. Thank you.
That's a very fine question, gentlemen. We've been lucky to work with various industries so far, which includes uh, various clothing, apparel, supermarkets, and restaurants, hospitality. So there are a lot of interesting examples in my mind which are coming. For example, uh, by doing voice of customer, um, there was a very famous apparel brand in the country and who were spending massively onto their offline billboards for their customer conversions. And once we try to figure it out through a voice of customer program, that what kind of customer personas and segments are influencing through which behaviors. So we were really curious and we were really surprised to analyze that it was not through those offline traditional mediums, but through two things. And those two things were digital channels productivity, and that was pulling in a lot of millennials and Gen Z customers they were getting in. And second was the splendid word of mouth, which was coming through the excellence of the service delivery by their staffs on the retail stores. And they were underestimating that potential. So this was something, a very insightful thing for them to find out where is the right potential of investments are there for them to invest in their various channels. Then there is another example coming into my mind. There is a famous restaurant brand in my country which has massively gained the customer loyalty in last 4, 5, 6 years, and it crossed even the potential and the sales potential of McDonald's and KFC in the region. And when I try to figure it out, and we done some mystery shoppings and voice of customers for the company, and we figured it out that it's the customer obsession. It's a customer obsession, just like founders like Jeff Bezos is having in his company, where I believe you guys might have heard this story, where in every executive meeting, Jeff Bezos puts an empty chair in the C-level meeting room, and they say this empty chair is representing the real customer. And whenever they decide an initiative, they decide an investment, they ask a simple question from that empty chair, that is this initiative is directly benefiting and adding value to this customer who's sitting on this empty chair. And if the answer is yes, they go for that specific initiative. If they are not clear about it, they do not tend to approve those initiatives. So I saw in my like more than 2 decade work experience that it's that simple. It's not the company who are having very expensive, fancy voice of customer or AI platforms, but it's the companies who are having real obsession, real intent, and real focus on delivering value to the customer. And that what brings change into the organization, and that's what brings massive loyalty and massive differentiating factor for the customer through that organization, and that builds lifetime generational loyalties with that brand. I'm sure there might be some a lot of interesting brands and organizations in Indonesia as well who are building generational loyalties, and those examples are coming into your mind. Yeah.
Thank you, Ali, for the explanations. Yes.
Kartina, it's just that I have another very simple, very
Sure,
nice
sure,
example
sure. I
from the
actually would like
Indian.
to add on the questions for you, Rajith, and later Manoj, because we kind of like would like to wrap up the sessions. Because I would like to connect you to what Ali mentioned about two things. Again, cohort analysis, and the second one is customer obsessions, because I would like us to link those everything, measurement, predictions, analysis, forecasting, to what we say as the inclusive CX strategy. I would also like you to add on the comments around that, Rajith, and later, Manoj, you can jump in.
Sure. So the example that I had in mind is this company, a brand called Velvet. The Velvet brand, they make shampoos, and they make shampoos. So when this is, I mean, not recently, I think this is even before the time of AI. So that is one of the reasons why I would like to talk about this. Even though we are obsessed with AI, and that AI can do wonders, we really can actually just understand what the customer wants and make a huge difference to your industry, to your business. So this company started, I mean, normally you would get shampoo in a bottle, right? I'm assuming you have the same everywhere in the world in bottles. But this company came up with this idea that, there is always an aspirational group of people who would like to buy shampoos similar to the others. So what they really did was they started making shampoos and packaging it in a sachet. And so I think when I convert it into Indonesian rupiah, probably something like you get it for 100 rupees in rupiah. So in India, it's about 50 paise. 50 paise, I mean, it's extremely cheap. It's dirt cheap. So people could buy the shampoo for that lower cost. And that brand actually went ahead, made a lot of money for the company, and ultimately the company sold the brand to somebody else. I mean, that was a make or break brand for that company. So that's a very good example also about one is it is not just AI which can do wonders, but then of course, I mean, I know the topic for today is all about AI. So if you can repeat the question once again, what did you want me to speak about?
Sorry, I would like us to add on some analysis around how we make sure that we do inclusive strategy around those items that we have had collected, including how we analyze the details, and then plus the customer obsessions, what Ali just mentioned, how we make sure that this customer inclusive is part of the value creations that we would like to, build upon the core of innovations that we do in the organizations. Manoj, you can jump in later after Rajith, okay?
So Manoj, you would want to go ahead, please go ahead. No problem.
Yeah,
I think,
I mean,
yeah,
one, of
please
course,
go ahead.
I mean, we definitely understood in terms of, how the analysis driven sales could come from various places and what could be the various sources from where the analysis could be received from an organization point of view. See, from a primarily sales lens, when you see that how well you have understood the customer and his needs, so if you talk about an enterprise sales perspective, what are the things that keeps your customer awake at night? What is the problem that you are trying to solve? Is your solution really aligned to that particular goal? So that's where you actually stop selling. You are actually trying to solve that particular problem statement. In terms of AI enablement, see, there has to be a right kind of a balance in terms of the tech and the human taking care of certain elements. Where tech could take care of shutting down the noise and let the people really focus on what matters. What is listening, as Ali also mentioned, in terms of listening and hearing, there are two different aspects to it. One is you are listening, but you're not doing anything towards it. And of course, responding to the overall context or the intent to what you're doing. So as Ali was mentioning,
We lost Manoj. We lost Ali. Okay.
Oh, it's just me who's there. Okay.
Yeah, you're all back. Manoj is not
Hello.
yet back. Hello. Hold on for a sec because I need to close this session very soon, and I need all of us to take picture first.
Sure.
Sure, please.
So, yeah, I think they've joined.
Yeah, I mean, like,
They're
I
back.
need to take picture to close the session soon if we cannot get Manoj to come in. Okay. Yeah. Can we just take picture for now?
Sure.
Oh, Manoj, you come in again.
No, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Manoj, I need to take the picture for now because we are actually, it's about time to wrap up the sessions. Hi, we lost you and we need to wrap up the sessions, unfortunately.
No, no
Yeah,
worries.
I think everyone here, if you
He's
would like
back. He's back.
to,
He's back.
yeah, if you would like to have questions to be passed on to them, feel free to reach out to me. I'll pass it on to them. And yeah, we need to take pictures for now. So can we just take the picture from the Zoom for now? Where should I sit? Here? Oh, yeah. Here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. One more.
Are we done?
1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining today's event virtually.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And yeah, you are welcome to dismiss.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay,
Katina.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
your time. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank
See
you.
you
Take care.
next
Bye-bye.
month.
Bye-bye.